Welcome to all the students. In this lecture, we are going to see the second method of designing a PDA given a CFG. In the previous lecture, we have seen one method that simulates top-down derivation. We call that as top-down PDA. Now, in this lecture, we will see the second method of designing PDA, and that is called as bottom-up derivation, and the PDA that we get is called as bottom-up PDA. Now this is a very straightforward PDA, and you will see that in this particular PDA designing, as well as while PDA takes decisions, there are two actions which are involved. The first action is called as shift action. What is shift action? It is an action where the current input symbol is simply pushed into the stack. So whenever current input symbol is pushed onto the stack, it is called as a shift action in a very plain simple words. Now the second action is called as reduce action. Now it is a bit not difficult, but you need to understand what reduce action is. Okay, what we do here, the content of the stack are concatenated from bottom to top. Now what are the contents of this stack? This stack contains y plus x. Remember, whenever we insert any string onto the stack, the string gets reversed and it gets inserted, correct? So now for example, x plus y is the string that we insert. Okay, if we have not reversed the string, okay, the string would appear like this, y plus x. So actually the string x plus y that we have inserted onto the stack, okay, if we have not reversed the string and inserted it, if we have not reversed, then the string would appear as y plus x, right? So what we do in this reduce action, okay, reduce means what? Ultimately, if we have a production of the type s gives x plus y, reduction means what? If on the stack there is a substring present x plus y, if x plus y is a substring present in the stack, then in place of this x plus y, we are reducing it, or we are replacing it with s. Okay, that's a simple reduce action. So that means at any point of time in the stack, suppose we have a substring x plus y present, then we pop this whole string out, and in that place we are replacing it with the left hand side, that is s. That's called as reduce action. Okay, so here, okay, what we do, the procedure is this: the content of the stack. Now stack will contain certain elements. The content of the stack, okay, from bottom to top are concatenated, excluding the z0 symbol. Now why bottom to top? Because I just told you the original string is x plus y. If you want to read x plus y, you will have to read from bottom to top. The second way is reversing the string and inserting it, so then there won't be any issue. Okay, so while reading bottom up PDA, what it does, okay, while reading the string from the stack, it reads it from bottom to top. In the simple words, it actually pops out the string as it is, and then it reverses it so that it reads the string in the reversed order, the correct order. That's the meaning of it, right? So the content of the stacks are concatenated from bottom to top so that you get the original string x plus y back. Okay, then to form substring s1. Now the substrings of s1. Now, so x plus y is substring s1. Now the substrings of this s1. What are the substrings of this s1? Y individually is one substring, plus y is another substring, x plus y is third substring, only x is fourth substring. So these are substrings of y, s1. Okay, so if I have s1 as x plus y, what are the substrings of this? See, single y can be a substring, so this is substring 1.1. Then plus y together, this is another substring, so I can call this substring 1.2. Then x plus y, this whole thing could be third substring 1.3, or only x could be substring 4, 1.4. So these are the substrings of s1. Okay, understood? So what it does, the substrings of s1, okay, the substrings of s1, substrings of S1 are compared with the right hand side of production. So each substring, first what we do, first we compare y, then we check whether y is present on the right hand side of any production, suppose no, then we take the higher substring, that is plus y, see whether plus y is present on the right hand side of any production, suppose no, then we take next higher, that is x plus y, see whether x plus y is present on the right hand side of any production, suppose no, okay, and finally we check only x, that's a topmost element, okay, when you reverse the string, okay, see whether x is present, okay. So this way you check the substrings of S1, okay, substrings of S1 are compared with the right hand side of production, and if S1 substring is found to be right hand side of a particular production A, suppose this is that A production, and right hand side of that production happens to be this substring, okay, substring say S1.3, that is x plus y, happens to be the right hand side of this A production. Then what we do, then the stack, the contents of the stack S1, the whole thing S1, this whole thing, the whole thing is replaced with the left hand side of the production S. That's the meaning of reduced action. Now working of bottom up PDA. Now this is the standard procedure how bottom up PDA, once it is already designed, how it works and how this bottom up PDA it validates the given string. So I will first do this and then we will construct the corresponding bottom up PDA. Okay. So remember, initially what will happen, the input pointer is initialized to the beginning of the string. Now since the string is given for us for validation, okay, the input pointer, read pointer will be pointing to the first symbol of that input string. Fine. Second, first input symbol is placed onto the stack. Now whichever is the first input symbol, suppose the string given to us is a plus b into say a. So as far as the first point is concerned, the input pointer will be initialized to the beginning of the string. So this the input pointer will be pointing to the first symbol. Second, the first input symbol will be placed onto the stack. Now initially the stack will be empty. So the first input symbol will be placed onto the stack. Okay, this A will be placed onto the stack. Now contents of the stack are concatenated to form the string S1. I just explained you here. Again I will do it. The contents of the stack, that is from bottom to top sequence. Now you understood why bottom to top, because whenever you insert any string onto the stack, okay, it gets inserted in the reverse order. So while retrieving, you have to reverse it back to get the original string. Okay, so that's why while retrieving, you are actually reading the contents of the stack from bottom to top. In simple words, you are actually reversing the string and then reading it, right? So the content of the stack, that is from bottom to top, are concatenated to form string S1. Now since there is only one element in the stack, when you try to read the substring right from bottom to top, you will get only A. So my substring currently S1 is only A. Correct? Fine. So this is what step 3 says. Okay. Now the substrings of S1. Now since there is only single symbol over here, it doesn't mean any problem. But suppose the substring was a bigger substring, say the stack contained more symbols, say A, B, C, these were the symbols in the stack. Okay, then after reading from bottom to top, suppose we get this substring S1. Now what it is said, okay, the substrings of S1 are compared. So S1 is ABC. So what are the substrings of ABC? First you will get only C, one substring, then BC, second substring, then ABC, third substring, and then only A, fourth substring. Okay, so each of these substrings of S1, they are compared with the right hand side of the given production. Okay, now in my example over here, since the stack initially contains only A, so there is only one substring. Okay, now suppose the productions of the given grammar are one of the production. Suppose say T gives A, this is one of the production. Suppose now, so in the step number 3, what we do, content of the stack are concatenated to form string S1, and then substrings of S1. So once you get string S1, which is read from bottom to top, I have just told you what is the meaning of substrings of S1. So each of this substring of S1 is compared with the right hand side of the production. Whatever number of productions are given to it, each of the substring one by one is compared with the right hand side of each and every production in the given grammar. And okay, and if there is any production with any of the substring of S1 on the right hand side is determined. Now you see there is one production where substring S1 or you can say substring of S1 is present as an element of the right hand side in that production. If A happens to be right hand side of any production, okay, then what we do? Okay, if there exists, fifth point says if there exists such production, then the stack contents are replaced with the left hand side of the production. Now what has happened? S1 is A, single A, right? So there is one production T gives A where its right hand side happens to be S1. So then this A can be now replaced with the left hand side of the production, that is T. So that's how A will be replaced with T. Okay, A will be replaced with T. And this method is called as reduce action. So first thing what you need to do is, okay, your input pointer is initialized to the beginning of the string. Then second step, the very first input symbol is placed onto the stack. Now stack contains some elements. Then you start reading content of the stack from bottom to top sequence. They are concatenated to form string S1. Then each substring of S1 is then compared with right hand side of each and every production in the given grammar. And suppose there exists any production whose right hand side happens to be one of the substring of S1. Okay, then if this is true, then the stack content, the entire substring is replaced with the left hand side of the production, of that production, right? Like how I did over here. A was replaced with T, the left hand side. So this action is called as reduce action. Otherwise, now if this is not possible, it can happen that in the string S1 that we have found out by reading the content from bottom to top, none of the substring happens to be on the right hand side of any of the productions. So in that case, this otherwise point will work. Then what to do? Whatever is the current input symbol. So that means after pushing the A onto the stack, what would be the next current input symbol? That will be plus, right? Plus would be the next current input symbol. So the current input symbol, so if this is not possible, reduce action is not possible, then the current input symbol, that next is plus, is pushed onto the stack. And whenever any input symbol is pushed onto the stack, that action is called a shift action. And the input pointer, after pushing that current input symbol onto the stack, definitely the read pointer will go one place to the right. So input pointer is moved one place to the right. Okay, so you have to now in this procedure, the PDA, it keeps on repeating steps 3 to 5, that is checking the contents of the stack, concatenating content of the stack from bottom to top to form substring, the string S1, then comparing the substrings with the right hand side, and if yes, this is found, then reduce action is taken, otherwise the shift action is taken again, and go on. So this will happen. Okay, and then finally, if the content of the stack excluding Z0 is the start symbol, okay, if the content of the stack excluding Z0 is the start symbol, then the given string is accepted. Okay, in the previous method, that is top down PDA, in top down PDA what we did, do you remember? We were pushing the start symbol onto the stack, and then we were trying to reach a state wherein the stack is empty, right? And even input string is empty, or input string is exhausted. So this was a top down method. That means starting with the start symbol, you are trying to reach out to the string. Okay, but in this method which we are seeing now, bottom up approach, what we are doing, we are starting from the input alphabet A, okay, from the bottom to top, okay, input string A, and finally suppose starting with the first input symbol, then the second, third, fourth, every symbol is inserted, then shift and reduce action will take place whenever required. Finally suppose stack contains only one element, that is start symbol. Okay, then we say that the given input is accepted. So this is bottom up. the difference between top down and bottom up. Top down, you start with the start symbol and reach out to the bottommost level, that's a string. Okay, and if the stack is empty and the input is exhausted, that means the string is accepted by the PDA in top down approach. Whereas in bottom up approach, you start with the string, the lowest entity, that's a string itself, character of the string itself, and finally after entire string is read, if the stack contains the start symbol, then you can say the string is accepted. So this is the ulta process, bottom up. Okay, so whatever we have done here, okay, whatever we have read over here, if it is still a problem for you to understand, we will take up an example, okay, for this. So for exam, they might be asking you this kind of questions. Design a bottom up PDA from the grammar G, and these are the productions of the grammar which are given to you to accept the string a plus a into a. Okay, so this kind of problems are asked. So first I will show you, okay, how the PDA actually works, how bottom up PDA actually works. Okay, so whatever I explained here, I will be solving it, and then what you can do, you can later on compare it to these steps and try to understand. Fine, if you have not understood these steps. Okay, so let's start. So what we are supposed to do, first we are going to design a bottom up PDA, and then we are going to validate this string a plus a into a. So let us first validate the string, assuming that there is a PDA. Okay, so I have designed a transition table here, okay, which we will be filling now. Transition table here to validate the string a plus a into a. Now this transition table contains the following column. One is the move selected. So as the processing will happen, this column we are going to write whether shift action is selected or reduce action is selected, which action is selected. Then here, suppose the reduce action is selected, then in this column we are going to write which is that production which we are using for reduce action. Then in this column, what are the contents of the stack, not the topmost element, the entire content of the stack, and what is the unread input. Okay, all this we are going to write. So let's begin. Now initially what we are trying to do, we are trying to validate the string a plus a into a. This is a string that is given to us. It is unread so far. Okay, so initially if you can see the step number 1, the input pointer is initialized to the beginning of the string. So input pointer currently is reading this a. Okay, it's not started reading, but it will be reading a. So what I am writing here is the initialization move. Okay, initially entire input is unread, so unread input is a plus a into a. Now initially the stack is empty, so the content of the stack is initially z0, and initially we are not going to do any moves, so I am just writing dash over here, neither shift action nor the reduce action. Okay, and now the procedure starts. Okay, now procedure says input pointer is initialized to the beginning of the string, done. Now first input symbol is placed onto the stack. So which is the first input symbol? This a. So this a we are going to push onto the stack next. And remember, whenever you are inserting any input symbol onto the stack, what action it is? It is called a shift action. So I will write here shift. Fine. Then after shifting it onto the stack, okay, the stack would look like a z0. Yes. Now after pushing a, what remains to be read is plus a into a. Done. So this is the shift action. Next, okay, now so this is step number 2. Now step 3, content of the stack from bottom to top are concatenated to form substring s1. Now since the stack contains only one, s1 is a only, right? Now, okay, after forming that, now in 4th point, substrings of s1 are compared with the right hand side of the productions in the given grammar, and if there exists a production whose right hand side happens to be that substring of s1, then it is replaced with the left hand side. Now in the PDA that is given to us, in the context free grammar that is given to us, remember there is one production t gives a. Now topmost element of the stack, or the stack contains substring that is a. Okay, is a present as the right hand side of any production? Yes, here this production is a on the right hand side. So we are going to reduce this A to capital T. So what action I am going to use? I am going to use reduce action here. So what I am going to reduce? A, I will be replacing it with T. That's called as reduce action. And what production I am going to use for reduce action? T gives A. This is the production that I am going to use for reduce action. And the unread input is still into A, plus A into A. Fine. So what is there on top of the step? It is Z0. Now next what it says, repeat step 3 to 5, okay, till the end of the string is reached. So again we are going to check content of the stacks from bottom to top. Okay. So what is the content of the stack now? Capital T. Now you find out, is capital T right hand side of any production? Yes, see this production here, S gives T, has right hand side as T. So I will use a reduce action wherein T will be replaced with S. So another reduce action here, I will be using reduce. Okay, I am going to use this production for reducing, S gives T. So the T, which is the right hand side of this production, I will be replacing it with S. So what you will get is SZ0. And the unread input is still plus A into A. Okay. Now what is the topmost element of this, or what is the content of the string? Now whenever you are reading content of the string, you should always exclude the token. So what is the content of the string now, of the stack now? There is only S. Now find out, is S the right hand side of any production? No, S is not the right hand side of any production. That means reduce action here in the fifth step does not work. So I have to go to otherwise. Okay. What we do, the current input symbol is pushed onto the stack, that's called a shift action, and the input pointer is moved one place to the right. Now since S is not the right hand side element, or it is not right hand side term of any of the production, reduce action not possible, I have gone to the otherwise part, which is called a shift action. So the current input symbol, that is plus, will be pushed onto the stack. So next what action I am using? I am using a shift action. Okay, and I am inserting plus onto the stack. So the stack now looks like plus SZ0, and after pushing plus onto the stack, unread string is A into A. Now again you check the content of the stack. Read the content of the stack from bottom to top. Okay, so first you are going to read substring S, and we have already seen, so this is substring 1.1. Okay, is S present on right hand side? No. Then you expand, and then the substring that you are going to read is S plus. Okay, that will be substring 2. Is S plus the right hand side? Yes, over here it is there, but it is not S plus, it is S plus T. Okay, the string over here is S plus T, and what is there onto the stack is S plus only. So S plus is not the right hand side of any of the production. S plus T is there, but S plus is not there. Okay, so as a result, since it is not the right hand side of any of the production, that means reduce action is not possible over here. Okay, the reduce action is not possible here. So what I will do, if there is no reduce action is not possible, then again I will use shift action. So what I am going to do, I am going to again shift the next input symbol, that is A, onto the stack. So stack will now look like A plus S Z0, and after pushing A onto the stack, what remains to be read is into A. Is it clear? So now A plus S is onto the stack. Now let's see. Again the content of the stack are read from bottom to top. First you read the substring S. S is not on the right hand side. Then you read S plus. Okay. Then you read A plus S. Again A plus S is not on the right hand side. And finally you read only A. Okay. Finally you read only A. Is A on the right hand side? Yes, there is a production called as T gives A. Okay, so this A can be reduced. So I will use a reduce action. I'll use a reduce action. I will be using the production to reduce. T gives A. So A, which is there on top of the stack, now I'll be replacing it with T plus S Z naught. It will become, and unread input is into A. Okay. Now you have to be very careful while solving these kind of PDAs. Now, as you can see, again when you are going to read this input S plus T, okay, you are going to search whether S plus T is on right hand side, and yes, for this production S plus T is on the right hand side of this production. So you may then try to replace the right hand side with the left hand side S. Okay, so this ultimately would be reduced to S. But notice that there is multiplication in A which is yet to be considered. So if I am now directly reducing using this particular production, if I am directly reducing S plus T with S, if I am doing this, then you see basically when the algorithm stops when the start symbol is finally present on the top of the stack, right? So no doubt by reducing S plus T to S on the stack you would get start symbol, but is your input string yet over? No, right? So what I will do, I will not do that reducing. I will not reduce S plus T with S yet, because I want this into A also to be solved. Now you see there is one production here wherein T into A happens to be the right hand side. Okay, so what I will do instead is I will not reduce it here, but I will continue shifting. Okay, so I will use a shift action and I will shift into onto the stack. Okay, I will shift into onto the stack. So once into is shifted onto the stack, what remains is a single A. Again see, if you are going to now check the string S plus T into, as you read from bottom to top, you are going to see that none of the substrings are on the right hand side of these productions. Okay, so again you will use a shift action. Again I will use a shift action. So this remaining A also I am going to shift onto the stack. Now you will understand why I ignored this move of reducing and I continued with two shifting moves. Okay. Now you see, after pushing this A also onto the stack, is anything remaining to be read? No. Nothing is remaining to be read. Right. Now what you do? Now you see the substrings. Okay, S is not on the right hand side, S plus is not on the right hand side, S plus T is on the right hand side, but before S plus T there is also another term. Please note, there is A into T. Okay, now check whether A into T, when you read it, it will be T into A. Okay, because you are going to read from bottom to top. So this will appear as T into A. Is T into A right hand side of anything? Yes. So now I can reduce T into A to T. So I will now use a reduce action. Okay, and the production that I am going to use is T gives T into A. So with this, okay, T into A, I will be replacing it with T plus S Z naught. Again there is nothing remaining to be read. And now what is there on the stack? The full string, that is T plus S. If when you read from bottom to top, it will be read as S plus T. The string that is there on the stack now is S plus T. So now can I use this production S plus T? Can I replace this whole thing with the start symbol? Yes. So finally I will use reduce action. Okay, using the production S gives S plus T. This whole thing can be replaced with the start symbol Z naught. Now have we reached the end? See, nothing is remaining to be read. So input string is already read. And at that time, is the stack containing the start symbol? Yes. So now it means that the given string A plus A into A is accepted. Okay. Again I am telling you, I could have done the reduction here only. I could have reduced s plus t to s. But if I had done that, I would have reached the start symbol, no doubt. But my input string was yet to be read. There were some more elements yet to be read. If I had replaced this with s, then how I would have got into and a into picture? Not possible, no? Into and a is present for production called as t, for t production, and that's why what I did, instead of reducing it here, I just waited for two more shift actions, and I waited till I got that term t into a. Okay, so that two things will happen. One, this into will be consumed here, also a will be consumed here, so the input will be exhausted, and at that time a plus t or a into t or t into a, which is actually the right hand side of t production, can be then reduced. Right? Now once I reduce this to t, the whole term can be now very easily reduced to the start symbol s. So that's why I waited. So while solving, you have to be slightly careful. Okay. So this is how your bottom up PDA works. This is just a working of bottom up PDA. Now the next thing is how to design bottom up PDAs. We have not designed the bottom up PDA. We have just seen how bottom up PDA works. Now designing a very simple procedure is there. Okay. So we are going to now draw transition tables for non-deterministic bottom up PDA, for the PDA that is given to us. Okay. Now what you all have to do, very first thing is you need to find out how many productions are there. Okay, so the production that are given to us are, the first one is s gives s plus t. So one transition table for the reduce section of this particular production you will have to design. Then another transition table for the reduce section of this production. Third transition table for reduce section of this production. Fourth transition table for reduce section of this production, and one more extra transition table for accepting state. Always remember. So how to design the transition tables, I will tell you now. Okay. Now the very first production which is given in the grammar is s gives s plus t. Okay, the very first production that is given in the grammar is s gives s plus t. Okay, so let's design the transition table for that. Now the transition table here, it contains following columns. One, state. What is the current state? Here we are going to specify the moves. What are the moves that we are going to execute, so that we can reduce s plus t which is there in the stack, the substring s1 which is s plus t which is there on the stack. How to reduce this with s. Okay. Now so here we have input symbol and we have top of the stack, and here we are going to list out the different moves. Okay. Now for our understanding, what I have done is I have also drawn a figure at the side of it, and accordingly we'll do. So initially what I'll do is I'll assume, okay, we are assuming initially that since our aim is what, in the stack s plus t is already there. Okay, then s plus t is read from bottom to top. So the content of the stack currently for this production, the content of the stack should be t plus s, because when t plus s is read from bottom to top, you get x plus t. So currently the stack for this production, the stack should contain t plus s, correct, and assume that we are in a particular state, say q. So same thing I am going to write. Okay, so in the transition table my current state is q. Okay, now how can I reduce t plus s so that this goes and what remains is s? Any student will tell simply that first I am going to pop this t out, then I am going to pop this plus out. So after popping t, after popping s, what will remain is s. So s plus t, this is how s plus t or t plus s can be replaced with s, right? So another thing you remember, always while designing bottom up PDAs, for reduce actions, remember, for reduce actions we are not reading the input symbols. We are reading input symbols only for shift action. The transition tables that I am drawing now, the transition tables that we are going to see now, they are all for reduce action, not for shift action. So always remember, the input symbol column will always contain null. That means no input symbol is read. Now looking at the figure, so we are in which state now? We are in state Q. The current input symbol, so input symbol is not read because we are doing the reduce actions. Now what is there on top of the stack? See here, T is on top of the stack. Okay, top of the stack contains T. Now what move are you going to take? So I will say that I am going to pop this T out. What I am going to do? I am going to pop this T out, and by doing that I will go to Q1 state. Fine. So the move over here is I will be going to Q1 state by doing what? By popping the T out, and popping means pushing null onto the stack. Fine. So this is the first move. So now you are in Q1 state and T is not there in the stack. So I will write it here now. Okay, what is my current state? My current state is Q1. My current state is Q1. Again, see, we are not reading any input because it's a reduce action. Okay, now what is the topmost element of the stack now in Q1 state? Plus is there on top of the stack. Right? Now what I will do, I basically want S plus T to be replaced with S. So I think now in Q1 state, this plus also I want to push it, pop it out, right? So I will pop this plus out of the stack and I will move to Q2 state. Fine. So I will write here, I am going to Q2 state by popping the plus out. So popping means pushing null into the stack. Okay. So this is how from state Q I went to Q1. Okay, I popped this T out, I went to Q1. From state Q1 I popped plus out, I went to Q2. Okay, now when I am in state Q2, so I will do the changes here. I am in state Q2 and plus is already popped out. So I am in state Q2. Again see, no input symbol is read. What is there on top of the stack? S is there on top of the stack. Okay, so what operation will I do? Actually I wanted S, only S on top of stack. S is already present on top of a stack. So I am going to perform no change operation. And no change operation means S, which is on the top, it will remain on top of the stack. So I will write S here as the second parameter. Now remember, whenever you are going to do reduce actions, okay, it should be a circular action. Now what it means, I started with Q, from Q I went to Q1, from Q1 I went to Q2, and once the reduction is done I should be able to come back to state Q. Okay, so you start with Q, from Q then you can go to Q1, Q2 based on the reduction steps, and finally once the reduction is there I should be coming back to this original state Q, circular fashion. So after in Q2, after I see that S is on top of the stack, which is required, okay, I have already achieved what is required. So don't you think from Q2 I should move back to my original state Q? Yes. So I am going to write Q here. So it means from Q I went to Q1, then from Q1 I went to Q2, and then once my work was over, from Q2 I came back to Q. So this is how I have done the reduction for the S gives S plus T, the first production that was given to me. Okay. Now the second production that is given to us is S gives T. That's the second production. So this is the second production. Now S gives T, that means T which is there on top of the stack, I want to replace it with S. So again see, always remember for each of these reduce actions, for each of the transition tables that you draw, okay, the first state should be common. So here also it is Q, then here also it should be Q. The starting state should be same. Okay, so the start state is same, Q. Start state of this reduce action is same as the start state of this reduce action. So Q is the start state, and our aim is to reduce T to S. So currently the stack definitely contains T on top of it. Okay, so again no input symbol is red. Okay, what is the on top of the stack? T is on top of a stack. Now what are the different moves that you are going to make? So what I can do, from state Q, okay, what I'll do, I pop this S out, so I go to Q1, so I go to state Q1 by popping this S out. Okay, so by doing that, stack is empty, and then in state Q1 I'm going to, in state Q1 again, when nothing is red, top of the stack is empty, that time I push what? I push S onto the stack. Okay, I push S, so I will push S Z0 on top of a stack. Okay, and I come back to the initial state Q. Okay, so after popping this T out, I went to Q1, then I push S onto the stack, and after pushing S onto the stack, okay, I come to the original state from where I started from Q, I come back to Q. So this is how I reduce S giving T, that means I reduce T to S. So this is that. Now third, there is a third production, T gives T into A. So for that, let us see the reduce action for T gives T into A. So again, initial state is Q, and since it is T into A, it will be read from bottom to top. So stack basically will contain A into T, right? So initially again I will be starting from state Q. One thing I forgot to tell you, please note, only the initial state will be same, but other states, for example here Q1 and Q2, we have already labeled them as Q1 Q2. So this state over here, it should not have the same label name, it should be something else. So see, if this is Q1 Q2, I can write this as Q3. Okay, so I forgot to tell you, I will do it now. So this is Q3, suppose. Yes, and here also it is Q3. Remember, so only the initial state that I am starting with, Q, should be same in all tables, but other states, their label should be different. No two states should have the same label. Okay, so I will just say Q3. So then from state Q over here, from state Q, when nothing is read as input and top of the stack is A, what I do, I pop this A out. So I will pop the A out, and I will go to say Q4. Q3 is already written, so I go to Q4 state. By popping this A out. Okay, so I will pop this A out, and by popping this A out, I will go to Q4 state. Now I am in Q4 state. Again, when nothing is read, into is on top of the stack. So I will pop this into out, and I will go to Q5 state. Pop this into out, and I will go to Q5 state. So graphically, into will be popped, and my state will be Q5. So my aim was what? I wanted to convert or reduce T into A to just a single term, that is T. Is T now present on the stack? Yes. So I have achieved my goal. So when I am in Q5 state, what I will do, when nothing is read, when T is on top of the stack, I will perform no change operation. That means T is still on top of a stack, and I have to return to my original state Q. So T still is on top of the stack, and I will write Q over here. Yes. The next production is for T gives A. T gives A is the next production. Now for this production, again the same thing. Q is my initial state. Nothing is read as input. Top of the stack contains A. So what I will do, I will I've already used Q5, up to Q5 I have used, so I will say Q6. Okay. So what I will do, I pop this A out, and I will go to Q6 state. So I will go to Q6 by popping this A out, and this A has to be replaced with T, no? So then in state Q6, when I am in state Q6, what I will do, I will again nothing is read, I will push. Okay, what is there on top of stack here? Z0 is there on top of a stack. So what I will do, I will come back to state Q by pushing T Z naught onto the stack. I will be pushing T onto the stack, no? So that means I will push T onto the stack and come back to the original state, that is Q. Yes? So up to Q6 I have labeled. Now final accepting moves. Okay, so let's say I am in my original state, that is Q, for this also. And remember that up to Q6 we have labeled. Now, so for accept state, remember accepting state is the one wherein start state should be, start symbol should be on top of the stack. Okay, so then how should we go from this to accepting state? Okay, so what we will do, we will pop this S out, and when there is nothing remaining to be read, stack is also empty, that time we will say that the string is accepted. So when I am in state Q and when nothing is read as input and top of the stack is S, what I will do, I will pop this S out. So I will go to say up to Q5 I have labeled, Q6 I have labeled, so Q7 I will say, I will go to state Q7 by popping this S out. So I will go to state Q7 by popping this S out, S will be popped out. Now in Q7 state, okay, in Q7 state finally when nothing is read and stack also is empty, so Z0 is there on top of a stack, okay, I will go to the final state, that is Q8, yes, by by doing nothing. So you can do two things, you can pop Z0 out or you can keep Z0 as it is, both you can do. I have taught you this, so I will write this. Okay, this is fine. So these are the for reduce section, these are the transitions. Okay, and now finally we are going to draw, based on this transition tables, finally we are going to draw the bottom up PDA. So let me start. Q was one of the states, the initial state, as I told you. Okay, so let us first draw the transitions for Q for this S gives S plus T. Okay, so how will I write? So from Q, okay, from Q, when null is read as input and stack top contains T, okay, you go to Q1 state by pushing null into the stack, right? So from Q, okay, from Q you are going to Q1 state. Agreed? From Q you are going to Q1 state. So how you are going to Q1 state? From Q you are going to Q1 state by reading null and top of the stack is T, by reading null and top of the stack is T. What operation you do? You pop. Agreed? You pop. Then, so from Q you go to Q4. I'm sorry, from Q, oh sorry, where is that? Here. From Q you are going to Q1. Then from Q1 state you go to Q2 state. So from Q1 state you go to another state. I will just write from Q1 you go to Q2 state. Now how do you go to Q2 state? If you see, from Q1 you go to Q2 state on reading null and top of the stack is plus, okay, and by popping out. So null plus and popping out. By reading null, top of the stack is plus, and the action that we take is popping out. So you are in Q2 state. Understood? Now in Q2 state, from Q2 state you are coming back to state Q. So it should be like a loop. So from Q2 state you are coming back to state Q. Now by doing what? Okay, from Q2 on reading null and top of the stack is S, S remains on top of the stack, that means no change operation. So by reading null and top of the stack is S, you are doing no change operation, you you do no change operation, stack contains S only. So this is one transition. This particular transition that I've done is it for one production. And what is that production? S gives S plus T. Now this production will be slightly simpler. So again, for this S gives T, you start from Q. Now from Q you go to Q3 state. Okay, so from Q you go to Q3 state. Now how you go to Q3 state? From Q you go to Q3 state by reading null, and top of the stack is T, and you are pushing null into the stack. Null T, and you are pushing null. By reading null, top of the stack is T, and by pushing null into the stack you go to Q3. Now you are already in Q3 state, no? Then from Q3 state you come back to Q state by reading null, top of the stack is Z0, and by pushing S onto the stack. Okay, null Z0, S Z0. So you are coming back to Q, null Z0, S Z0. Okay, please bear with me, the automata would look slightly shabby, but can't help because many states are there. Okay, so this is the second transition, you come back to Q. So this is the second transition. Then for T gives T into A. Now you start from Q you go to Q4. So you start from Q, you go to say Q4 state. So how you go to Q4 state? This one here. From Q you go to Q4 state by reading null, top of the stack is A, and pushing null. By reading null, top of the stack is A, and by pushing null. Yes, you have gone to Q4 state. Then from Q4 state you go to Q5 state by reading null, top of the stack is asterisk, and asterisk remains. So you can go from Q4 to Q5. Asterisk remains on top of the stack. No change of position. Q5. Then finally when you are in Q5, you come back to Q by reading null T, and T remains on the stack. Q5 you come back to Q from Q5 by reading null T and T. By reading null, top of the stack is T, and T remains on top of the stack. So this is for Q5. Then we are going to do for this particular transition. So again from Q, on reading null and A, you go to Q6. Okay, so from Q, on reading null and A, you go to Q6. Yes, then from Q6, on reading null and Z0, you come back to Q. Okay, from Q6 you come back to Q. From Q6 you go back to Q, and the transition over here is null Z0 T Z0. So the transition over here is null Z0 T Z0. It has started looking shabby, but can't help. Okay, you can keep more space. So up till Q6 we have designed, no? And finally for accept state, yes, this is the last one. So from Q you will go to Q7. So I will change the color. From Q you are going to Q7 state by doing what? By reading null, S is on top of the stack, and you are popping that S out, you go to Q7 state, and from Q7 state you are going to the final state Q8. Q8 is the accept state. So from Q7 state you are going to Q8 state, which is the accepting state. By reading null, Z0 is the topmost element of the stack. Z0 remains the topmost element of the stack. So what we have designed over here, this is a bottom-up PDA. Thank you.